So, good evening and welcome to our very first Warrior webinar. We're really excited to be here. We've had some really lovely feedback. We've had nice emails from people. We've had interaction in the Facebook group. So we're really thrilled about all of that. We love you engaging with us. We love you speaking to us. So yeah, that's really exciting and really brilliant. We are now, what are we, 15?
Day 15 already.
15, oh my gosh. 15 days in.
If my maths is right, that's a sixth of the way through. If maths isn't right, don't correct me. That's crazy how fast that's already gone.
Yeah, the time just absolutely, it kind of in the middle somewhere, about 15 days. It feels like you've been doing it forever and there's forever to go, but then all of a sudden it's done. Yeah, so it's really exciting. And if you're watching this and if you're not on the live video and you're watching this and you want to give us some feedback with what we've done so far, if you have any suggestions, anything that you think would make this easier for you, better for you, we don't promise to take on absolutely everything, but we would be really keen to hear your suggestions and your things, because we definitely plan to do this again. I know Beck, you really had a great time the first time we did it, and I know how much it's done for us guys. Even if no one else gets anything from it, we're having a ball.
Yeah, we are. It's something about just every day. Like, I love getting my email first thing in the morning, and that being the first thing I'm reading, either as I'm drinking my cup of tea or I'm coming downstairs to get the day started. It just gives me a really good starting point to the day. And I notice, without even having to try, that whatever's been in that email in the morning is kind of sitting with me, and I'm mulling it over, and it's kind of working its way through my system, if you like, over the course of that day. And I just absolutely love that. And I know from some of the emails that we've had from people, there's been quite a few people emailing us back off each day or every other day, and we've just had some really beautiful feedback, and in amongst that some really nice questions, which we'll come on to in a minute. So maybe, I don't know what you think to this idea, Deb, it's just come up in my head as I'm saying it, whether we just share one thing that's really stood out for us from what we've either written or read so far.
One of the really interesting things for me is I write these emails and then I read them, which is, maybe that's a little bit strange, I don't know, but I actually I have the same experience. I actually quite like reading it in the morning. And it almost, even though there's not long between when I write them and post them and then I read them, it has the same effect on me. I like reading through it, and it reminds me. I like to be reminded. And so, maybe you want to start.
I've put you on the spot, haven't I?
Yeah,
all right, I'll start. So the one that comes to mind for me is the idea of a warrior breathing and allowing things to pass. And I actually wrote a blog about this a couple of days ago, because when it first came through into my inbox, the title made me giggle, because it started with "A warrior breathes," and in my head straight away I have a little devil Beck that always has a giggle at things when people say stuff like that. So I'm like, well, duh, of course a warrior breathes, we're alive, aren't we? But it kind of almost instantly, I went into the next place of, actually there's something really quite poignant about that. And this is kind of what I talked about in my blog, that actually doing the most simple and basic of things first, taking our breath, filling our lungs, because as human beings, we're going to start to struggle quite quickly if we don't have breath in our lungs. It's like, actually, that's really quite true. There really is something about breathing that kind of gets us going, gets us, moving through the day. And then the allowing things to pass. That, I mean, I've heard that a number of times in a number of places over the last 5 or 6 years around kind of the spiritual path, if you like. I hear that in a few different places, and there's something, again, so simple and basic about that. Things pass. Like, if you look back on however many years of life you've lived, everything has passed up till this point, hasn't it? There's nothing that's kind of still there, in a sense. And so for me, I think that's the big thing, is that's just been something really simple and basic.
The basic stuff. Yeah,